What is going on? Welcome back to Trading Stocks. Today is April the 2nd. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, talk on what's moving the market and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So starting off today, there isn't really any data points coming out that's going to disrupt the broader market. Bowman is talking, so that could potentially extend to affecting SOFI, but I'm going to go over everything that you need to know. Fear and Greed Index is pulling back, and that is largely because of yesterday's data. So yesterday's data, manufacturing came in a little bit higher than anticipated, so that did insinuate essentially that the economy is relatively strong and that Powell might be not really cutting rates as much as what the broader market was really anticipating. And so all in all, that's what the market is really wanting, is rate cuts, and so he might not deliver as many as previously thought. But beside the point, Fear and Greed Index is at 66. So in some cases, people's appetite for risk is still very much going to be there. Starting off with some companies, SoFi. SoFi is down 1.8% based off of no SEC filings. There was news that did come out early this morning, and ultimately it just says SoFi schedules conference call to discuss Q1 2024 results. And so that is set and slated for Monday, April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern. So another early one. They like early ones always, but still I think that should be a fairly good thing. And usually leading up to their earnings, you see a FOMO rally, and then regardless of the results, it kind of sells off. So that might be something to anticipate. But like I said, other than broader fears that's kind of popping up now, that's the only thing that's really causing SoFi to go down alongside their technicals. Shorts aren't really doing much right now. They're increasing 56,000 shares. 20.3% of the free float is being shorted. Utilization is 68.04 and 200 on the mark for the most part. Million shares is being overall shorted. If you are looking at trading it right now with it at $7.09, it is exactly on this S2. So in reality, you will want to watch this S2 to either break above or below. Unfortunately, if this does break, then it is heading back into the sixes. And so again, that's just kind of the name of the game ultimately. But again, some points to watch for. 719 as well will be that next strong resistance. Moving on, Canoo. They are getting massacred. They did put out their earnings after hours yesterday, and yeah, this is getting completely slaughtered. Aside from that though, they did put out some good news early this morning saying that Canoo signs a vehicle sales agreement in Saudi Arabia. So I think the Middle East seems to be the saving grace for EVs right now. This is what they do, in case you don't know what Canoo does. But right now, shorts, I'll give you a quick overview of what they are doing. Shorts are increasing about 36,000 shares, not all that much. It is on the threshold list. 24.84% of the free float is being shorted. 12.65 million shares overall are being shorted, and then utilization is at 100%. If you are looking at trading this company, just be very cautious because they are burning through quite a lot of cash, and their earnings did signal not much optimism for the foreseeable future. But with it at $2.78, it is trading between this S3 and this S2. It could be seen as too overdone somewhat in the short term, so it might pull closer to this S2, so just take note of that. So 288 will be a strong pivot for that. I don't see it touching anywhere close to this S1 today, nor this S3, but I could be wrong. So just take a mental note of a lot of the strong support and resistance points. Tesla. So Tesla is due to put out their Q1 production and delivery numbers. And as of right now, they haven't done that yet, so we'll just have to wait and see for that. Shorts aren't doing all that much. 3.71% of the free float is being shorted. And oddly, when it comes down to shorts and Tesla, you have seen that shorts have actually started to get back in somewhat. Take that with a grain of salt because it went from about 2.91% to the 3.7%. So it's nothing really crazy, but still on a percentage basis, definitely shorts are re-entering. If you're looking at trading Tesla though, so 173 and change, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot, so doing fairly well in comparison to a lot of other growth stocks. $170 right now is a strong support, and then 176 will be that next strong resistance. Dependent on their data, of course, that like it'll either break below everything, either be probably the S3 or the R3 is where it'll be. So let me know your thoughts on that. When it comes down to XTI Aerospace, it is up a good amount, so up 55% based off of no news, no SEC filings, no just rumors, nothing like that. They recently did do a reverse stock split on March the 13th. So that's been the case, and it's happened like this in 2024 quite a few times, in fact, where a company, right after doing a reverse stock split, somehow for no rhyme, no reason whatsoever, it just goes up. So be very, very cautious about this company. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. It is a 10.24 million market cap company. This is what they do, so you can pause it and read through it. In fact, it doesn't even show a industry, aerospace, I assume, based off of the name. And if you are one of those that likes seasonalities, it does look like every single month, with the exception of December, that is when they do fairly good. So if you are looking at investing in this company, you might potentially lose 8.5%, give or take, for April. So aside from all of that, it isn't all that heavily shorted. So 6.85% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 305.25 thousand shares overall are being shorted. So this does kind of fit that criteria of squeeze plays, because 2024 people have really targeted low floating companies such as this, but utilization is 95.99. If you are looking at trading it with it at 307 now, it is well above all of the fib levels, so it's kind of too overdone. And so again, this is where you could see a pullback possibly to the 247. So I've never really promoted shorting, but essentially based off of no news, this could very much pull back down to this R3. Couple others, or one other stock or two other stocks to talk on. There's quite a few movers this morning. But KIDP, so they did have a partnership or a definitive merger agreement announced after hours yesterday with Ninja Footwear. So ultimately that's causing it to go up 29.43%. KIDP has actually been on my list quite a lot, being a lot of volume getting in. And so in case you don't know, this is what they do. So you can pause it and read through it. They don't have or haven't had any recent reverse stock splits. Actually, my apologies, March the 7th, 2024, a 1-for-5. And I think this is actually one of those companies as well. Previously, especially when it did run up here, there was no fundamental reason, nothing like that. So this has been a very interesting stock in the past. Looking right here, 19.24% of the free float is being shorted. Shorts aren't doing all that much, but 94.22 thousand shares overall are being shorted. So it kind of meets a criteria as the last company, just a very, very low float company that is being somewhat heavily shorted. So again, I think that's also aiding in for it to go up as much as it is. If you are looking at trading this with it at $5.82, it is trading between this R1 and this R2. So 602 will be that next target, and then 541 will be that next strong support point for you to watch for. In my opinion, I don't really know the terms and conditions of that definitive agreement, but I do feel, given the broader pullback that's happening in the broader market, that it might actually pull to this R1. So let me know your thoughts on that. And finally, SoundHound is down 3.6%. No news, no recent SEC filings, nothing like that. So it has been rather quiet. On a plus side, no insiders have sold for at least a week and a half. So again, I think that's kind of a good thing. 16.74% of the free float is being shorted. Utilization is at 100%. Shorts are increasing about 77,000 shares so far this morning, so nothing really crazy, but 44.82 million shares overall are being shorted. If you are looking at kind of trading SoundHound though, with it at 535, it is trading between this S1 and this pivot. So 697 will be that next strong target, which I don't anticipate, given the circumstances today, for it to touch. But you'll want to watch for this 488 to really hold. And dependent on how much SoundHound does sell off, it could touch this S1. Because in the past, it has actually proven that it does have those very quick sell-offs that does happen very fast. Because a lot of retail does have probably stop losses, and institutions know that, so they kind of do these quick market sell-offs just to trigger a lot of stop losses. and that in turn kind of escalates it going down a little bit more. So let me know your thoughts on these 6 or whatever stocks I did cover today. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, make sure you guys take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with MULN, we throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So a total value of around $35. So that's pretty good return on investment for just throwing in $100. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.